What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Badwolf, here to bring you some more information on the authentication process. So some of you people asked me, like, okay, they're like, do I have to get it done? No, you don't have to get it done. If you're doing your passport, you don't have to get it done. But I'm also going to tell you this: if you don't, you're going to stand a far less chance of obtaining what you're trying to get to. That doesn't mean that you can't. Okay. Other people have been able to achieve it, due to certain situations. The reason why I'm telling you to do what we do is because this has been successful. We've been achieving over 90 to 95% success on getting people the 5 star. Right about the same for the 4. Obviously, anybody can get the 3. But at the end of the day, it's the fact that you are making your declaration. They're not turning you down because of your declaration. But if you try to declare something like what we're doing as a U.S. national, state citizen, American national, non-resident alien in this particular area, because those are all the same, um, while still utilizing your birth certificate, which is their property, and you don't get it authenticated, which that process in itself brings it from their jurisdiction into the United States of America, because the United States of America never signed the Hague or Hague Convention treaty. So that the mere process of that itself is what brings it from there to here. Okay, so they're saying stamp. Yep, it's in our territory now. Okay, so there is still a U.S. of A. So a lot of people are like, there's no more U.S. of A. Okay, there still is. It's just the infrastructure has been taken over by others. Um, for those who have signed the Hague or Hague Convention, then they get it certified, which is why it's called a birth certificate, or else they get it apostilled or apostilled, depending on how you want to pronounce it and see it. Everybody says it a little bit different. Um, if you do that, then you're over there. If you do the authentication, then you're over here. So that's why I say to get that done, and because then that matches up what you're arguing in your declaration, or rather explanatory statement. So, okay, there we go. So there's two levels you can get it done. You can get it done on the state, and you can get it done on the federal. Some people ask, should you get it done on both? You don't have to. It's not really going to make a big difference, but it's totally up to you. I'm probably going to do mine because, believe it or not, I've never seen my birth certificate because I've always had a certificate of live birth. Because my mom, she was like, "Oh, I'm keeping this baby here. I'm gonna give y'all that," and blah blah blah. But so I finally just ordered. I finally just got mine. So I'm preparing to do mine. So, like I said, this is for the Department of State. Okay, so this is a little information on what you should do. So you're going to go to the Department of State. You're going to download their 1, 2, 3 sheets. I think you got to have a cover sheet. You got to have your birth certificate. And then you're going to want to include a letter that's stamped, so self-stamped envelope with already addressed to yourself. You're going to want to get you a large manila. I guess you could do it probably in a regular size one, but I'm putting it in this one. I'm putting all this information into this packet. My state one looks the same. You're going to want to find out their fees. I think it's for the state, it's $8 and takes 2 months. 2 months. Fudge. But that's okay. Okay, I think you can expedite it a little bit, but still, yeah, it's going to take a minute. So don't make any quick plans. So for those of you guys who followed my process and you're like, oh, I sent it off already. I know you didn't send it to the state. You might have sent it, or to the Department of State. You might have sent it to the state, which that's okay too. It's got the same merit. I'm gonna do mine on both levels because I like to be thorough. Um, so yeah, so the state of that you live in, well, at least mine is $10, and it takes like a week, it's like 10 days, and then you can expedite it and get it back in 3. So I recommend doing that format, okay? Because once you bring it, you're letting them know that you want your birth certificate brought into the proper jurisdiction, okay? So they'll still have their copies, but now you're putting it out statewide. So state is going to update their stuff. The Department of State is going to update their stuff, and you've made your claim. So especially if you're going to do your birth certificate. Now, some people have asked me, should I do my certificate of live birth? Okay. Um, when I learned a lot of this information myself, and then I was working with other people, like my good friends over in Massachusetts and Maine, who helped me out when I was first starting this channel, um, and other people I've worked with. So appreciate all of you guys to help me to be able to do this, to be able to help so many other people, because a lot of them wanted to keep their information, what they did, and whatever else private. I kept their names private, but this is the process. We put it out there on Front Street. Because everybody has this right, and we should be helping each other. And so, that's what brings us here. So, in that process, they were telling me how you don't really have to do it with your certificate of live birth because that was issued by your hospital as a private basic thing. But as I think about it more, the certificate of live birth still maintains the word certificate. Okay? And that means it's on, technically, in my perspective, from my perspective, that word means it's on their side. Then you might be like, well, but it's a hospital, it's not the GOV. Yeah, but they were incorporated under the state. The state is underneath with working with the UCC, and underneath the incorporated through the state. State's incorporated through Washington, D.C., which still technically means that every business, including the hospitals, are under. Yes. So, should you get your certificate of live birth authenticated at least bare minimum on the state level? I would say it ain't gonna hurt. Who knows? There might even be some unknown benefits to it that we don't know. So, I would say if you don't do it on the state level, do it on the Department of State level, and if not one or the other, then do both. Can't hurt. Yeah, it's a little bit more time. Yeah, it's a little bit more money. But it's totally up to you. I'm just telling you that you always want to put your best foot forward, and you want to, take your best swing. It's like if you're gonna go and fight, let's say a bully, you're not gonna go, if you're right-handed, but you're not gonna swing at him with your left hand and be like, you know what I mean? So get in there, wham it up. But once again, that also doesn't mean that we haven't been successful with the 4 and 5 with the certificate of live birth as it is. So is it needed? No. But for $10 or whatever it costs in your state, and it comes back in 3 to 10 days, I mean, why not? You know. So that's basically the process. Once you get that back, then you can do the DS11 with your explanatory statement. Some people have made their own. Some people who've been, I know I mentioned this in one of the other videos, is that a lot of people who have been naturalized and who are already married to a U.S. national, so declared, or been in the military, have been getting 4 stars right out of the bat. Like I've actually had some clients say, you know what, now that you've told me where to look on my passport, card, I have 4 stars already. Do I even need this process? And I tell them, no, if you've done those things, typically those people, if you look, so look at your cards before you ask me, because you may not need it. But yes, if you want to try to achieve the 5th one, obviously this is going to improve your chances. I can't say 100% because nobody can guarantee 100%, because remember, I had one lady, I think it was like 5 of them, all do the same exact process. I know she's very astute, so I know it was done verbatim. Everything, was, done to the specification we talked. So they really all should have pretty much gotten the same results. And I think everybody got 4 and 5 stars out of but one. But then it was like, what are the differences? And so we conversed, and kind of put together why things might have been different. Because you remember, this is not a foolproof process. Because even though you have the exact same information, you're still dealing with, one person had their birth certificate authenticated, the other one had their COLB, which should have been higher. Okay, but is there background history? Is there family history? We don't know. Should they have gotten the certificate of live birth authenticated? Maybe, and then maybe that would have got the fifth. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, putting all your best pieces forward is definitely the best way to go. But then it still comes down to two more things. We don't know which agent you're going to get, if they're smart or if they're inept. We don't know which department within there that it went to. And then after all that part's done, then it still goes to a separate place to be finally coded and physically made. And then how they interpret that information. So we know that we have cracked through the veil a good 90%. We're up in there. Like, we are achieving our goals. People have been, achieving their successes out while traveling. But even with traveling, you're still going to have some cops that don't know this information. They're still going to overstep. So for the love of God, people, if you're going to be traveling, travel properly. Like, it doesn't mean a cop still won't overstep if he doesn't know what this information is. But what I mean by travel properly is do your revocation of your either signature or registration with the DMV. Have your plates off. Have their plates off. Have your plates on. Cover your VIN. Download the police manual. Get the CNA manual, or police, the Department of State manual from my website, blacksite32.com. It's right on there. Download the right to travel form. Have all of your receipts that you've done this in a binder in your car. And when a cop pulls you over, the first thing you need to be telling him is that you are a foreign national, and don't accept it if he's going to try to overstep this. No, you're not. He doesn't have the right. He's supposed to be asking you what your citizenship is, and you tell him. But he can tell you that if you still have their stuff on your car. Okay? Ask for a commanding officer. Don't be traveling with a driver's license, their plates and stuff on their car, and then you want to whip out your passport card. Like, no, I'm a U.S. national. He's gonna be like, yeah, give me your driver's license. You've got plates, you got our plates, you got your stuff registered still, you got your registration, all that stuff. Can't do it. You're mixing jurisdictions. You can't do it. They're gonna default to the lowest common denominator. Okay, at least the dumb ones are. The smart ones are gonna understand, and they might let you off, but you have to travel properly. And remember, you guys are in this fight too. This is not just me going through this stuff. You guys are on the front lines doing this too. They all should know this, and they all should respect this, but they only have to respect it if you're doing it right, not if you're half stepping. Ain't no half stepping. Okay, so I digress. So anyway, so the process for authentication, that's what you do. So go online and Google, how do I authenticate my birth certificate and then the state of whatever you live in, okay? And then Department of State authentication process. Oh, haha. So when they ask you what country, okay, like with my state, it clearly said on there, don't claim the United States of America. Like, how are you going to tell me I can't authenticate my birth certificate